Shalom, shalom, and welcome tonight. Night 5. All right, I'm bringing them all together. I thought it was night 1. But welcome to the Nation of Yahweh Feast of Passover and Unleavened Bread. Before we get started, we'll say a prayer to our Father Yahweh. We'll say our national prayer, and then we'll say our the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. So we can all stand and face the east. O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from the heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name, and glory in thy praise. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh in Israel forever.
Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh in Israel forever.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded that persecute us.
let them be confounded that persecute us.
But let not us be confounded.
And let us be confounded.
Let our enemies be dismayed.
Let our enemies be dismayed.
But let not us be dismayed.
Let not us be dismayed.
Bring upon our enemies the day of evil.
Bring upon our enemies the day of evil.
And destroy them with double destruction.
And destroy them with double destruction.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
forgive our fathers for breaking your laws.
forgive our fathers for breaking your laws.
And please forgive us for breaking your laws.
And please forgive us for breaking your laws.
Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name.
Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name,
Nor reproach against our works.
nor reproach against our words.
For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh,
For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh,
trying to be upright,
trying to be upright.
and as we confess our faults,
And as we confess our faults,
please grant us protection against all of our faults.
please grant us protection against all of our faults.
Cleanse us of our secret faults,
Cleanse us of our secret faults,
and guide us to the best of morals.
and guide us to the best of morals.
Surely our prayers and our sacrifices,
And surely our prayers and our sacrifices,
our lives and our deaths,
our lives and our deaths,
are all for thee, O Yahweh.
are all for thee, O Yahweh.
Tefillah.
Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh America, Taroka, Pirka, Yah save us, O God. Keep us Samayim, Baretz, Edeke, Tenamayim, Uswapayim, Akatenu, Kimo Shalsokim, Gomanatu, Lakoteolani, Beltenu, Edebisara, King Kasei, Mihara, Kilaka, Amona, Vea Givara, Vea Teferi, Leome, Olame, Sila.
We thank thee, Yahweh,
We thank thee, Yahweh,
O living and eternal King,
O living and eternal King,
who has so mercifully restored our souls within us.
who have so mercifully restored our souls within us.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Be seated. Once again, it's a pleasure to come before you again, celebrating the Feast of Passover and Unleavened Bread. We're going to move very fast tonight. You're going to need paper and pencil. I suggest if you don't find the scripture fast enough, you write the scripture down, write down what's being said, and you go back in the comforts, you can read the scripture and also compare what's being said. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
We're having a very, what I consider a very serious time here. We're covering some things that people have been asking questions about. What is the Passover? What is Feast of Unleavened Bread? What does it mean today? Yes, we can talk about the Bible from the past, but what does it mean today? Passover is a biblical holiday that we are commanded to keep every year. And Yahweh commands us to never forget what happened to us in Egypt in the past. Yahweh killed the firstborn in Egypt after all kinds of plagues on the economy, on the people's personal self. And at the end of it all, he killed Pharaoh, all his servants' firstborn. Then Pharaoh let him go, told him to get out. And they wanted the Hebrews to leave in haste. They really wanted them out. They said, because lest we be all dead men. So when the Hebrews left Egypt in the past, although a lot of people will say the Hebrews was delivered in Egypt, they was delivered physically, not mentally. What's the proof? When you read the story of their exodus out of Egypt, they went into the wilderness with all the Egyptian ways, all kind of gods, all kind of inappropriate sex, rebelling against Yahweh, rebelling against each other. That proved they weren't delivered mentally. So you may hear us today talking about leaving America. That's leaving America mentally. Leaving physically not going to do anything if we have the same mindset. If we left America in the state of mind that we're in, we might as well set up the United States flag wherever we go, because we're going to continue to do the same thing with the mindset that we have. What does Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread mean today? What does it mean today? What does it mean right now? Because the Bible is past, present, and future. Present is right now. Future is after the present. The word Passover means overcoming. Overcoming this world. Protection. In the past, Yahweh showed us that he can protect us against Pharaoh. We need to remember that today, because America is very good at displaying her weapons, her military might. And you may be scared of her. But understand, Yahweh has the ability to protect us. We need to understand that real good. And we can only find that protection in the Bible. So you have to remember the past, what Yahweh has done. Delivering us. We need deliverance now more than ever. Night 2 shows us that we have been in a terrible condition mentally. It is all about the mind. We must be renewed in the spirit of our mind. It's all about the mind. The Bible is written euphemisms, allegories, metaphors, similes, figuratively, literal, prose, poetry, and prophecy. Past, present, and future. Just to name a few. And if we don't know how and when it's the past, when it's the future, and when it's now, we're in trouble. Praise God. Now, this is really more, each night is really like more of a series. You have to have the first night, the second night, the third night, the fourth night, and tonight. You need all these classes to understand what we're showing, what we're revealing pertaining to Passover Feast of Unleavened Bread. You need the other classes to know that America is today's Egypt, that the Amorites is Egypt. America is hid in the Bible under multiple names, and if you don't know that, Babylon. If you don't know, you'll believe and think that it's talking about the past. And it's most important that we know about right now. Now we'll be kind of moving around, and we're going to piggyback some off what we went over last night. But I thought it would be important to bring up this Time magazine. I've had it a while. The interesting thing here, they have an angel and the devil. And it says the science of good and evil. Then it says, what makes us moral? Then it says, good deeds, guess what? Good health. They understand that they both go together. When your mind is not in tune with Yahweh, it's impossible for your body to be in tune with Yahweh.
Yes, sir.
What they have convinced us is that we have to settle for sickness and disease. The knowledge of Yahweh can correct disease and sickness. We need to understand that very well. Now, it's our decision. Some people pray over their food when they know it's not good for you. Now remember, Revelation 12:9 said that the devil deceived the whole world. But when you read the Bible, it gives you dietary laws. Yahweh is the creator of the mind and the physical body. So he knows what it takes to physically correct us and mentally correct us. Only in Yahweh. We're not going to pray away disease and sickness. We have to work. Most of us work for what we want anyway. And beg for what we need. Did y'all hear that part?
Yes.
We're probably going to go up on the feast next year. At least I'm hoping so. And why am I hoping so? Because we tried to have it at a low price. And guess what? People still give excuses. See, I believe this. You buy what you want and beg for what you need. You buy what you want and beg for what you need. There was a word we went over last night in 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 5. And you're going to have to catch the rest night 4 to understand this, but I'll be partially of it because we're talking about Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread. And why I'm emphasizing this, because over years we have perfected eating unleavened bread. We have perfected most getting yeast out of the physical houses without really understanding. And this is a book that you need to read. It's called Fruits from the Tree of Life, where Yahweh talks about not getting caught up in the rituals, things of that nature. But we need to get caught up in what it means, what it represents. Well, y'all excuse me. I misplaced my glasses, and I'm gonna try to use this here. And this is 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 6. And it says, your glorying is not good. So whatever you're happy about, whatever you glorify in all your arrogance is not good. It says, know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Now what is it saying back there? That a little immorality in your mind will corrupt your mind. Just a little immorality will corrupt your mind. It is most important to say, we ask Yahweh to cleanse us of our secret faults. And the prayer that we pray, if you believe in Yahweh, you really want to research that prayer. Just so you know we're making some commitments in that prayer. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
And it says, purge out therefore the old leaven. And we went over the word purge last night, but you can look it up and also listen to night 4. Purge out that old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, a new mind, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ, Yahweh ben Yahweh, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Now, remind me to go over that scripture in Isaiah about Yahweh's sacrifice.
Okay.
Therefore, let us keep the feast. This is what we're doing. Not with old leaven, not with that old mindset, neither with the leaven of malice. And wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Now you're going to have to look up sincerity. I wrote unto you in an epistle not to company with fornicators, not to company with fornicators, yet not altogether with fornicators of this world, or with the covetous, that right? Covetous, or extortioners, or with idolaters. For they need not go out of the world, but now I have written unto you not to keep company. Notice he keeps saying that. If any man that is called a brother be a fornicator, or covetous, or idolater, or railer, or drunkard, or an extortioner, with such an one, not to eat. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without the nation of Yahweh? Do not ye judge them that are within the nation of Yahweh? But them that are without Yahweh, judges therefore, but them that are without Yahweh judges. Therefore, put away from among yourselves that wicked person. Is that a little better? Chop that up. So yes, we have the right to judge you if you're that wicked person. And Yahweh will judge you when you're without. See, Yahweh is raising us up to be judges.
Yes, sir.
That's a word that a lot of people scared of. They say, oh, judge not, lest ye be judged. Anybody ever heard that? Judge not, lest ye be judged. But Yahweh just told us to judge those that's within the nation. Yah, He's raising us up to judge.
Yes, sir.
So those that say, judge not, lest ye be judged, I'm telling you, keep the immoral people around you. And no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go back just a little bit on the world of idolatry. You don't need to tonight. Now, excuse me tonight, I might put them on, I might take them off. I use a magnifying glass. Now, we're not going to go over all of this tonight, but in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 6 through 13 are instruction for what we are to do and what we're not to do. So we're going to go over just a little over idolatry.
Idolatry.
Yeah, please. I'll tell you, put the camera on. Seriously.
You want me to go over the whole definition?
Kind of go over that part where you kind of talk. Just turn this.
Turn it here?
Turn it in point of view.
Oh,
I'll go through it again. Idolatry. Etymology. Adon means image, etria means worship. So idolatry literally means worship of an image. Idolatry is worshiping anything other than the one true God, Yahweh. It's when a person puts an object, a person, a desire, or idea above Yahweh.
Even an idea. Just to kind of piggyback a little bit on that. Because we are known for create excuses. Don't have an excuse, but a creative. And some of us will miss the feast or choose not to come to the feast. You can only not come because you're putting something before you. You think the reason you're not coming is reason enough not to do what Yahweh says. Y'all follow?
Yes,
So that makes sense. We choose that. Yahweh didn't give us excuses in the Bible. He said, do this. And sometimes he said, if you don't do it, there are consequences.
Yes, sir.
What else you have?
Idolatry is anything that takes Yahweh's place in your mind. It can be money, fame, relationships, yourself, success, or even religion.
Now that's interesting again. We went over there last night. You put religion before Yahweh. See, that tells us that the religion obviously is not right. Because you would think that religion is the worship of Yahweh. So obviously, religion is not the worship of Yahweh. It's the worship of something. We're going to try to go over that for the pieces of what that is. Yes, sir.
One more.
Yes, sir. Particularly that one. You did say
Success, yes.
You said that?
Idolatry is anything that takes Yahweh's place in your mind. It can be money, it can be fame, relationships, yourself, success.
So Yahweh say, keep the feast of Passover and unleavened bread. But you say, but I got this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
And usually it's to make some money, and Yahweh just said, don't put money before Yahweh. Yahweh has taught us if you do the will of Yahweh, He will bless you to do the will of Yahweh. Something tight on it, that's why I don't try to. Something is tight on it. I don't know whether it's the whole stand. It should be slide. Good. See, this serious stuff here. It's real serious what we're going over for those that want to do the will of Yahweh. We went over last night out of 365 days. Some choose not to keep 23 days out of 365 days. And we think that's all right. But just think about it. Out of 365 days, Yahweh commands us to keep the Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread, Feast of Weeks, Feast of, what is the other one? Feast of Tabernacles, and 2 of them is 8 days and 1 of them is 7 days. That's the Feast of Weeks, 7 days. And we find excuses not to do that. See, you should understand if you're not in position to keep the feast, then something is out of order in your life.
Yes, sir.
Something is out of order. And we're supposed to be setting the examples for the world. And the world is watching us. Praise God. I just wanted to go over that just a little bit more. Now, what you got, sister? Putting objects, persons, image, ideas before Yahweh, anything that take Yahweh's place in your mind. Money, fame, relationships. Oh, well, he ain't going, she ain't going, so I ain't going. But yourself, whatever success is. See, when you put these things before Yahweh, so you kind of, you put relationships, success, you're really not a leader. You're really not fit mentally to actually help establish. See, Daniel 2:44 says we're going to establish the kingdom of Yahweh. How you going to establish the kingdom of Yahweh and you're not going to do what Yahweh says? What kind of kingdom do we think we establish? We're not doing what he said. All right. So kind of you do the thing again. You got this too? You got to put the 365 and 23 minus 23, the 240. Somebody told me when you put it in writing, it kind of stick a little better in your mind, and I think it do too. See, Feast of Weeks is coming up 50 days from now. So they can see it. They don't want to give an excuse, say, it wasn't big enough. $365 days, you can't keep 23 days out of 342. And then you got 23 from 365 to 342 days. If that's not enough time for you to prepare to keep the 23 days, listen, your life out of order.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy 28. And we're going to deal with this whole chapter. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 1 through 68.
Sweet.
Let me see, got it. Okay, I think you got it. Didn't work.
Deuteronomy, chapter 28.
Now listen to this very carefully. When you get time, we may look up some of these words, but we want you to really pay close attention.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day.
Wait just a minute. It did say in the Bible this day. You added
This
that, right?
Well, it says this day.
So that means right now. That's the future. Is that the future?
That's now.
Oh, that's right now? That's the past.
That's the present.
That's the present. So Yahweh just said, you got to hearken diligently. Right? What did it say about the What did it say about doing diligently?
And it shall come to pass,
Not might.
it shall,
Okay.
if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God, to observe to do all his commandments,
You mean some of his commandments.
all his commandments,
Don't come to the feast of Passover and the feast of weeks and the feast of tabernacles.
all his commandments,
But keep it the way you want to keep it.
his commandments,
Not your commandments.
his commandments.
Okay, go ahead, sis. I just want to be sure. See, this for me, because see, everybody is smart. I got to understand. Go ahead, sis. Come on.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the
So
earth.
some people want us to be set on high, not doing what he says. Some of us expect that we're going to be set on high, doing what we want to do. See, the world tells us that the law doesn't count. And Yahweh's saying here, this day, this society, through its religion, say that the law don't count. That's what they say. The law don't count. It say God to the laws of the Bible. In order to make available the light which the Bible throws upon the problems of human conduct and responsibility, the following complications of the law of the Bible is offered. Since the Bible is the foundation of the legal system of all civilization, it is highly important that those matters be made accessible. That's in the book. So if the people know that the law is the foundation of all civilizations, then they're waiting on us. They're waiting on us. See, it's already in their genes and their chromosomes, and they know that they got to follow the so-called black man in America, the tribe of Judah. They know that. But they're waiting on us. So when we make an excuse not to keep Yahweh's laws, they're not going to come. Some of us not going to make no excuses. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. We're going to get through this.
That the Lord Yahweh thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken.
They're going to come on you if, okay, excuse me, you got to point it out. Come on.
If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shall thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord Yahweh shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, and to be smitten before thy face.
See, good right there. See, everybody need to read that. To see sometimes somebody do something, we want to buck up at them. And Yahweh said he'll cause your enemies to raise up against you, just so he can smite them, so you can see his power and his protection. Y'all hear me? You ain't got to jump up every time somebody don't good. Oh no, raise up. And when people say something crazy about me, sometimes I say, oh, you should have did it. You should have did it. Come on, son.
The Lord Yahweh
Who
shall
calls them to raise up?
the Lord Yahweh.
Yahweh calls them to raise up, giving you an opportunity to be aware so you can control your own mind, not let a situation control you to act out of character. Yeah, I'll wrestle with that a little bit too. You're talking to me too now. Come on.
The Lord Yahweh shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. And they shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord Yahweh shall command the blessings upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thy hand unto.
All. Storehouses. See, if you got storehouses, you got to have stores. See, storehouses is like another word for warehouse. To store up your goods that you're going to put in your store to sell to the world.
Yes, sir.
See, economics all in this. Health, all that tied up in this. Come on, come on.
And in all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord Yahweh thy God giveth thee. The Lord Yahweh shall establish thee a holy people unto himself. And he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh thy God, and walk in his ways.
It say if again, if you do this again.
If thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh thy God, and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called
See,
by...
when you keep his laws all over, that means that the world watching us. That means they're watching. Don't think they don't know, they're watching. And since they are watching, what are we displaying? We don't keep Yahweh's law. They tired of their own immoral leadership. They're not going to follow us openly going against Yahweh. Yes, ma'am.
And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord Yahweh, and they shall be afraid of thee. And the Lord Yahweh shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which the Lord Yahweh sware unto thy fathers to give thee. The Lord Yahweh shall open unto thee his good treasure.
What kind of treasure?
Good treasure.
Wait a minute. See, the treasures by itself is wonderful. But Yahweh got some good treasures. Some good treasure. Treasures is all right by itself, but some good treasures? Come on, say.
The Lord Yahweh shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hands.
Some of the work of your hand.
All the work of thine hands.
So if you can't come to the feast, then your hand is not being blessed.
And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow.
That's a good position to be in. Okay.
Absolutely.
And the Lord Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail.
See, some people say, I don't want to be rich. I don't want all the problems of the rich. I just want the problems of the poor man. I tell you, we crazy. No, all that word, no. I just want enough, just enough to get by. And the Bible says we have to leave an inheritance for our children's children. See, you can't leave your children your job. They don't want it anyway. Come on.
And the Lord Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken to the commandments of the Lord Yahweh thy God, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day.
He keeps saying this day, and don't go aside. Y'all read this where it says don't go aside.
And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day.
So when you say don't go aside, that means if he tell you to keep it 8 days, then if you're going aside, you keeping it 1 or 2 days, you're not here in person. Is that covered under that too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. To the right hand or to the left hand, or to go after other gods to serve them.
Oh, you worshiping other gods? When you go aside from what Yahweh said? Oh, yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
Because Yahweh said do this, you doing something else. Come on, Sister Kat.
But it shall come to pass.
Not.
It shall come to pass.
Uh-huh.
If thou wilt not hearken
If you won't hearken,
unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God, to observe to do all his commandments
do all of
and his statutes,
them, and his statutes.
which I command thee this day,
They go with that this day again, this day. Keep saying this day.
that all these curses
Oh! Now there's some curses. There's some consequences coming now for not being obedient to Yahweh. See, what they don't talk about is the consequences.
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
So if you're going to be cursed when you go out, cursed when you come in, that's all day.
The Lord Yahweh shall send upon thee cursings, vexation,
Who
and
gonna
rebuke.
do this now?
Yahweh.
Don't give that credit to the devil. You say Yahweh gonna do it to you. The devil just gonna enforce it. Come on.
Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings,
Why you do this here? Because of the wickedness, breaking his law, making excuses to break his law.
Whereby thou hast forsaken thee.
So you forsaken Yahweh when you don't keep his law. Go ahead.
The Lord Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he hath consumed thee from off of the land, whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with the blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thy feet shall be iron. The Lord Yahweh shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. The Lord Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Does that take place smitten before your enemy? You
Thou
got an enemy and Yahweh gonna smite you before your enemy. See, the enemy know that you ain't worshiping Yahweh, so he gonna smite you. You know what the world say? We gonna beat y'all butt because we suffering because y'all out of order. We can't be happy because who's supposed to be ruling, not ruling. Go ahead.
Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. And thou shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Did that happen? Can you find us in all around the world? Go ahead.
And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. The Lord Yahweh will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou cannot be healed. The Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
Oh, boy.
Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored unto thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Wait just a minute. See, it says sons and daughters.
Sons and thy
Shall
daughters
be said who?
given unto another people.
So your sons and daughters are going to be given to another people. Do another people educate our sons and daughters?
Yes, sir.
And we expect them to be moral, giving our sons and daughters to other people. So it's good for a rabbit to give its offspring to a monkey. See, nature realized don't do that. Why do we do it? And then when our children turn out to be crazy, we try to put it on them. But we gave them to the wicked institution. I went into an elementary school about 2 weeks ago, and after walking into the elementary school, probably a good 30 feet, I just had to turn around. Because this can't be our future. That means we have to do something different with our children. We must educate our own in the knowledge of Yahweh. Yahweh called this system the most wicked beast. Then we wonder what's wrong with our children. Our children in the condition that they're in because something we did or something we didn't do. So Yahweh talked about all the curses from being disobedient. Yes, ma'am.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
You have no power. Well, yes,
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
see, we're going to work, but other people going to benefit. We're going to be crushed. We work hard, but other people going to benefit. There's a friend of mine, he was making about $100,000 and some $1,000 a year, some years ago. And he sent out 3 resumes. And all 3 resumes he got responses. And he went to all 3 of them. I think he was making 110 where it was. One resume was going to give him 150. One was going to give him like 100, I think it was 170. And one was going to give him $200. So he gave them a 2-week notice. And after he gave them a 2-week notice, the supervisor said, well, we don't want you to leave us. We need you. So he said, well, can we duplicate their salary? And when he told them the 200, he said, well, just the supervisor talking about. But when the owner of the company found out that he was going to leave, he flew back home immediately, called a special meeting with him, asked him, don't leave. He said, but they paying $200. He said, well, we'll pay you $270. He went from like 110 to $270,000, let's say within 5 minutes. Because it wasn't no long conversation. What they paying? Well, we'll pay you. This is what we'll pay you. And then he found out that he was making the company $20 million.
Yep. Yes, sir.
You think that the owner was going to let him leave? $20 million? But step back, supervisor. I need to step to him now. See, you finna mess with my $20 million. Talking about we can't pay you. No, we're going to pay you more. We don't know who we were. Yahweh ready to bless us tremendously. Okay.
So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. The Lord Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. The Lord Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods.
Was that a pretty good raise, just for the record? Was that a pretty good raise he got?
No, sir.
That's a pretty good raise.
He can't get $20 million.
Wasn't
It's not such a raise.
wasn't that bad. Pretty cool.
What's that? But see, when Yahweh say we're gonna be the owners of the businesses, then we're gonna make $20+ million.
Yes, sir.
That's where he wanna put us at. But in this system, was that a pretty good raise?
Yes, sir.
Within 5 minutes, the owner didn't come in there and bless y'all, how much they paying? But we'll pay you $270. Come on, guys.
The Lord Yahweh shall bring thee, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
Oh, hold it right there. Hold it right there. Yahweh said we're going to be called proverb and a byword. Now you got to look like proverb and byword. What's a byword? Oh, you got it? Whoever gets the word. See if the Bible telling us the situation we're going to be in if we study. See, when I read that in the Bible 1,000 years ago, I know what Proverbs is about. I read it like I knew what it was talking about. What you got on?
Bible.
You said Proverbs in the Bible?
Byword from the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language, 5th edition. One that represents a type, class, or quality. A proverbial expression, a proverb. An often used word or phrase. A common saying, a proverb, a saying that has a general currency. A person or a thing that represents something with specified characteristics by spell. A nickname.
A nickname. You got something to go along with it. You're going to be a nickname. It's not who you is, it's a nickname.
Byword. Meaning secondary word or proverb. A byword is a single saying used as an example often to shame or to ridicule.
Shame or to ridicule. A nickname is going to shame you or ridicule you.
A byword is a word or name people use as a warning, joke, or an insult.
We're going to joke and just insult.
Usually for something bad or shameful. Synonyms for byword: mockery, proverb.
You think coon is a mockery? You think nigger is a mockery? Guess what? Black is a mockery. Colored is a mockery. What we call today? African American, that's the new, we change every about 10 years, prove we don't know who he is. And we go along with it. I remember they said, I'm black. And James Brown said, I'm black and I'm fine. Boy, we dancing all over the place. But those are nicknames. And Yahweh say, we'll be called by a proverb and a byword. We're the ones fit that description.
A byword is when a name or word becomes a shorthand for something shameful, cursed, or mocked. In the Bible, it represents judgment and disgrace. When your legacy turns into a warning, spiritually, it reminds us to honor the name that we carry. Because once a name is lost, a name can become a byword among the nations.
And all nations call you different. You know, there's the Japanese they say, in America, they call us niggers. They said, what y'all call us in Japan? They said, same thing. Same thing. What else you think we're going to call it in Japan? Now, you know what? Get you a Rosette International Thesaurus and look up the word nigger. You know, one of the first persons that's going to point out is going to say white, Mr. Child. This could take a mean, hateful person. Oh, y'all don't believe me, God, they don't believe me. They don't believe me. God, what do y'all look at? Nigger, 4:18:3. 4:18:3. 4:18:3. The word nigger, 4:18:3, it says Caucasian or white race. The white man, Mr. Charlie. That's what it says, nigger. See, he's a real nigger, but we learn his characteristics by being raised under him.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, you're a nigger.
It's their word. It is their word.
It's their word. And then they turn around and call us that. See, it'd be funny when I bring out a white folks. I say, you nigger. And they look so strange. You ain't know you was a nigger too. Then I define it from mean nigger person. Come on, man.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall go up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the
Wait
head.
a minute. See that bad, y'all. See, that means some other people gonna come among us and benefit from us. That's why all these stores in our community. It's our money. It's our money. And we go to that store. The Bible's something else when we take the time to read it and study. Okay.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee.
That's a lot of curses. Good gracious, Yahweh.
And overtake thee, till thou be destroyed,
Till you be destroyed.
because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he command thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not the Lord Yahweh thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flight.
That's us now. That's the Eagles. That's America. That's a nation far from where we were, but came together.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates. until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord Yahweh thy God hath given thee. And he shall eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord Yahweh thy God hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he had nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not have ventured to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord Yahweh thy God, then the Lord Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
No, wait a minute. There's a whole bunch of sicknesses and diseases named in the book. Then he said he's gonna create some new diseases and some new sickness. It's not in the Bible. No, it's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the true and living God, Yahweh. It's a terrible thing. Come on.
And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of the heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God. It shall come to pass that as the Lord Yahweh rejoice over you to do good and to multiply you.
See, Yahweh rejoice over you to do good. And he gonna rejoice over you, whatever I said.
So the Lord Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you.
He's going to rejoice over you to destroy you.
And to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and
See, our
stone.
forefathers didn't know nothing about that Jesus. And didn't know nothing about that. Come on, son.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have no assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, Would Yahweh it were even? And at the even thou shalt say, Would Yahweh it were morning? For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy
Thank you, Sister Kyle.
you. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
She read 68 verses, 1 through 14, blessing. Then it says, now, if you don't keep these laws this day, in verse 15 through 68, that's a whole lot of curses. Now, it's our choice. Now, some people enjoy what I'm saying because they have an opportunity to make correction, and some are upset that I'm saying what I'm saying. And if you're upset because I'm saying what I'm saying out of the Bible, please don't come along. Please. We're not looking for you. Go somewhere else. Please do not come along. Praise Yahweh. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, are you really, really all right?
Yes, sir.
Is this really, this piece, is it kind of clear? Is it kind of like 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Y'all really all right? Can y'all appreciate this?
Yes, sir.
I'm so excited about this piece. I mean, this is, see, go to Matthew 5:48. Matthew 5:48. Matthew 5:48. Gotta get on the try to read this, okay? And it says, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. So if Yahweh is your Father, then you got to be perfect as He is. Then go to Psalm 19:7. Psalm 19:7. Psalm 19:7. And it says, Psalm 19:7. Because it said, be perfect now. See, this society say ain't nobody perfect, but Yahweh command us to be perfect. Psalm 19:7 says, the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect. So the law is perfect. So if you're not keeping the law, you're imperfect. Then you're not Yahweh's child. Because it says the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect. Then it says the law will convert your soul, convert your mind. Convert is a special, a spiritual turning away from sin. In repentance to Yahweh ben Yahweh in faith. It is a dramatic turning away from the path that you're in order to pursue an entirely new path. Then it says, this turning is one turning his back on the system. It said this, on the system of this world and its ungodly value. See, something had to be wrong with us when they told us you can't talk about God in school. How we put our children in that situation? I mean, how do you just think about that? When you take God out, you letting the devil in. Holy communion means sharing, this is Yahweh saying, the sharing and exchange of Yahweh's intimate thoughts. His intimate thoughts. See, his intimate thoughts is his private thoughts. Is his thoughts that he holds the closest to him. But he's going to share these thoughts and feelings with us, especially when the exchanging is a mental and spiritual change within us. The God that made the sun, moon, and stars is going to share with us. Would you believe that we was with Yahweh when he made the sun, moon, and stars?
Yes.
Intimate means private and personal. That's what intimate means, private and personal. Private means it's not for everybody.
Mm.
Well, it is 9:20. And we're going to cut class right now. We started 7, got 8, 4. So we've given you plenty to study for yourself. And 2 Timothy says that. Don't believe what I say. 2 Timothy 2:15 says, study to show thyself approved. Study in Hebrew means lahad, which means intense mental application. Mental, applying it to your mind, and then you can manifest it in your everyday living. Now we're going to have 2 seminars tomorrow. One, a lot of people know this system. Y'all might know it from doing something else. Some people know it from playing many wonderful songs. A female bass guitar player. And she said, well, Mom, I don't play the bass no more. I'm raising a family. Which is very precious in the nation of God. The 7-year-old that was reading in class a couple of nights ago is one of her children. We have another one. She's going to be reading. Every time I ask her, she said, okay, Mom. But she's raising up children not in the ways of this world. I know 8th graders, 9th, 10th graders can't read as good as she did. So we're going to let Brother Anani put the camera on, and he's going to do some announcements. Thank you so much, Sister Kathy. Oh, excuse me.
Praise Yahweh, everybody. Feet so far, I am. It's great knowledge that we're coming across. I'm going to share 2 things with you guys. I mean, a few things we did as a family together at this feast. Those that could have made it, we had lunch together. Had a great lunch together on one of the feast days. Today, we all went to the beach as a family. Praise Yahweh. I wish everyone could have made it and enjoy these festivities with us. I'll tell you something interesting about the beach, though. At the beach, we all go into the beach before. I hope everyone have been to the beach before. The whole sign gets everywhere. All the crevices, sign is there. You try to go shower at the beach, the sign won't come off good, using the shower at the beach, still got salt on you. You leave, you go home, you go to a good shower and get the sign off. But when I think about the feast of Unleavened Bread, Passover, I think about the beach in this analogy with the world, and the sand is the wickedness you pick up throughout the whole year. And Yahweh is that good shower you get when you get back at your house and you wash it all off. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
continue enjoying the great knowledge we're giving you, Brother Amon, teaching of Yahweh, all the brothers and sisters. YBYalliance.com is our website. We have all the information you need. We have all of our events on there. And don't forget, the Feast of Wheat is coming up. We're in the middle of a Passover and unleavened bread, but the Feast of Wheat is coming up. You don't have any excuses. You got 50 days to prepare, right? Like Brother Amon said in class, if you can't make it, and something's on all of your life, you got 50 days to get it on, right? YBYalliance.com. We have a Facebook, we have a YouTube, we have a TikTok. I implore you to go to YBYalliance.com, click on contact, give us your name, number, and email. And we will send you a link where you can join that Discord community where we share teachings from Yahweh. We have the Tefillah prayer. We have a ton of resources in our community. That's at YBYalliance.com. Thank you.
Well, you got me out here. I understand right now. Well, we're going to stand and say a prayer to our Father Yahweh. First, we're going to say the Tefillah, which is the Lord's Prayer. Tefillah, which is the Lord's Prayer. Tefillah. Avinu Shabbat Shemayim. Yishar America. Tavo Ma'akuteaka. Yase Rezoka. Kiva Samayim came Baretz. Rebecca came to. Tame Hayam. Uslak Akatayinu. Kimo Shasoki. Gomanatni. Lako Tayamlani. El Teminu. Lady Nisayon. Kim Kasayinu. Mihara. Kilaka. Amonaha. Beha Gibara. Leo Tafir. Leo Lame. Olami. Sila. We thank thee, Yahweh.
We thank thee, Yahweh,
O living and eternal King,
O living and eternal King,
who has so mercifully restored our souls within us.
who has so mercifully restored our souls within us.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Once again, we want to thank you. Invite your friends and family to listen to these classes. All of them will be on YouTube. You can actually listen to them. Always remember that Yahweh ben Yahweh loves you, and we, the nation of Yahweh, love you. Shalom, shalom. See you.